This is my 300 horsepower GU Patrol, and it's been somewhat abandoned for 2 years now. Pretty much broke the last transmission, and since then it's been a mammoth job getting everything fixed. But while we're at it, we've changed just about everything on this car. From the transmission, to the paint, to the bar work, to the wheels. This is build 2.0. So now this thing is running, it's had a complete transformation, but it's still not done. So inside of here is a complete mess. So we got to get that sorted out. And while we're doing that, we may as well change some stuff up to maximize our space in this car. So how we're doing that is with some new products from iTech World. We've got a drawer fridge, which is going to allow us to not have the fridge up top anymore, which is going to be so much better. And then some other 12-volt gear that's going in as well. So before we do that, there is one big problem that needs to be solved. The spare tire used to mount here, and we can't do that anymore because it's so heavy, it'll just rip the door off. We can't have that. But because this thing's plastic and weak, we're gonna have to get creative with how we do that and mount it to the chassis. So by using a trailer stub axle and the receiver for that, we can mount this to the chassis and then build a swing away that comes out of the plastic bumper. That should fix that problem. And then in order to get some style points back, I think I'm gonna try and build an exhaust like that because that just looks insane. I think we're going to start by doing the swing away and get this bumper off and see what we can do. That there is metal. That's the bracing that goes inside of the plastic. But now I've got to figure out how to mount the stub axle in there so you can fit it all up as one piece. So now transfer that onto some steel and cut that out, and then we can start building our mount. So we now got our base plate in, which means we can go ahead and build the rest of it right about there somewhere. The stub axle is tacked in, it looks really good, and it is level, which is important. It needs to be level, it needs to swing out right. Now I'm going to put the plastic bumper over the top, make sure we've got enough clearance, and then we can keep going with the brackets to make the actual swing away. It looks pretty good though. So this piece here houses the bearings, and it's going to hold all the load taking it out and holding that spare tire on there. Now being a trailer axle, it comes with an inner and an outer bearing. So we're basically just going to have to press those in right now so that we can mount this up and then build off of this. Now this tube here is thick. It is very strong stuff. It's going to be much stronger than the door if we build it right. Now I'm thinking about having that sit flush with the back of the car, and in order to do that I need to put just a little bend on here so we can mate it up with our new spinny thing. Oh man, that's going to be perfect. Now this is a thing of beauty. Perfect. All of us car guys typically save a lot of stuff. This is something I've had saved for a while. It's a used piece, but it's going to work perfectly fine. My first instinct straight away now is saying that this is way too high. Too much angle, I think. And too high. That's good, that's why you only tack stuff for these reasons. That looks ridiculous. Right, I made it shorter, a lot less angle on it now, so see if this works. That is a swing away. I'm so happy with that. The angle looks good, the wheel looks good, it's in the right spot. It's not blocking the light too much. That is absolutely mint. I have already braced another bolt down here with a large bar to stop that twisting. And then once we unbolt that, I'll be able to brace that a lot more. This section here, I'm thinking about running a bar out, bending it and running it up. Right, well the paint's now dry, so I'm going to go ahead and fit this stuff up. And it's made up now of 3 pieces. We've got the main piece here that's holding all the weight. We've got the part for the latch to latch onto, and then the main section. So I'll go ahead and get it all in, and then we can test fit that rear bumper. All right, check that out. Swings out, gas strut works. That is absolutely sick. So now I'm going to go ahead and put the tyre on. Right, I am really happy with how that looks. It's kind of sitting in the most perfect spot, nice on an angle. All you got to do, grab this little latch here, give that an open, and she swings out. That is unreal. And now we don't have to worry about the door cracking. Now, it does have a little bit of vibration when you do that. But just to confirm, Ron has a full rear bar swing away. And guess what? Does exactly the same. So now that that is done, we can get that out the way. We can start working on the inside of here. What I want to do is change up the whole setup. I want to maximize the room in here. So before I used to have a fridge that sat on here. And by the time you do that, you're literally left with nothing on the top. So I want to change it up with a drawer fridge from iTech World and a new drawer setup and try and tuck all of this behind the seats. Now we also have this internal cage, which was great when my kids were young and rear facing, but now they're facing the front. I think I'm just going to get rid of that because in all honesty, it just gets in the way. Now the funny thing is we never even got to use this setup. The car broke right after I finished it and now we're ripping it all out, but it's for the better of the car. I think it's going to be so much nicer. I'm redoing the whole 12-volt setup. None of this wiring tucked in behind here. None of that spaghetti mess. We're going to have it much neater, much nicer. And this car is going to be awesome when it's done.
Yeah, I'm so fresh like the morning. Mouth wide open like they yawning. Every time they see me, they in G-Shock. Homie, this is too far. Homie, I feel too alive. You can see me like Illuminati. You can see me like Illuminati. But I'm shining so bright. Don't come and try to share some of this light. No, give me a beat.
And then we've got all this stuff from iTech World. Now, we've been running iTech World in all of our cars, in all of our adventures, and guys, I cannot recommend it high enough. They are a massive supporter of the channel as well. I'll have a link down in the description below to their website. You can check out all these products, plus a whole wide range of stuff more. Big thing that I don't know what I'm doing right now is I have an iTech 200 SS, but I've also got a 300 amp lithium, and this is the ultra slim. This thing is only about 70 mil wide, where this is about 130. To maximize our space, I could go the 300. We get 100 extra amps of power, plus we get a bit extra room. But the 200, I've already made the mounting bracket for if I want to keep it on the side, so I don't exactly know what I'm doing with the battery setup. I think the best thing I can do right now is go ahead and sit the drawer in, sit the fridge in, pretty much do like a dry fit in here.
Keep coming with it. Keep coming with it. Keep coming with it. Place your bets on us. Get your money and flip it. Yeah.
So it is a brand new day, and today we're starting things off with a bit of a Steeler-Rooney. So in the back of this car, Ron Burgundy, we have an iTech 300. Now this is a pretty new battery that I put in not long ago. And today, it's coming with us to go in the GU. As you can see, the battery fits in there perfectly. It's like the most perfect cavity for this battery. 200 and the 300, they sit up just a little bit too tall to make it work in there. But in Ron, I can fit that 200 no dramas because there's no height restriction. That's one problem. The second problem we've got is I've sat the drawer in and the fridge in. I love the setup, but the quality of these, not great. So the carpets, firstly, 2 different colors, so not happy about that. There's a big bow in this timber and it dips down at the back. And then honestly, I thought this fridge box went all the way back to suit a 900mm drawer, but it doesn't. It leaves you with an open cavity like that. So we went and visited our bloody best friend, Mr. Bunnings, and I bought the 12mm form ply or film face panel. This stuff is great for what we're about to do, and a roll of custom carpet. So we are basically going to build a custom top, even though I thought that top was going to work, but it just is not going to work. It's not going to look great, and I won't be happy with it. So custom top, fix that problem. iTech 300, fix that problem. All right, have a look at that piece of art right there. Pretty much a half pipe. I don't get the two different colours too. Like, what happened to their factory where the bloody colours went wrong? Right, well, now that the carpet is done and looking really good, might I add, we can move on to the 12 volt setup. Now, we got carpet, we got plywood, we got a nice flat top, we got a blank canvas to do our 12 volt. So iTech World have a wireless switch panel, which is just that. So this is the hub, and all the wires just literally go to this hub, and it avoids that complex mess that we had before. You really want to keep your 12 volt wiring as simple as possible. The mini control box is literally everything that we need in the car. So USBs, SIG sockets, battery monitor, Anderson plugs. It's even got a light on top. And then the big 60 amp charger. Now, we've got a 300 amp lithium battery. We need a big charger to back that up. So we've got a 60 amper. But yeah, the biggest thing now is just figuring out where everything needs to go and making sure it's nice and neat. You know, when the hole saw is coming out, that shit's getting real. That was easy. Now the air compressor will fit. Go somewhere like that now. Right, so for the air compressor, I've got a whole bunch of stuff here in order to make it safe to be mounted in the back of the cab. One of those things is a pressure switch. So once it hits a certain pressure, it's going to automatically cut out. If you don't have that, this thing will just keep running and these heads get really, really hot. Chances are you'll probably catch something on fire. So got to be pretty careful. It feels good to stretch. I've been in the back of the car, bent over in weird ways. Not that way, but weird other ways, doing this wiring. But finally, I'm getting somewhere. I'm almost finished. Don't let what you're looking at right now deter you from doing your own wiring. It is quite simple to do. It's very simple, actually. It just looks messy when there's a whole heap of wires. But pretty much, I've got the relay hooked up for the air compressor. That's all mounted in. You know, everything is hooked up to what it needs to be hooked up to. The charger, fuse on the battery, so it's a 100 amp fuse, fusing everything, and then everything else is ran off like MIDI fuses down there, and the breaker. And all done. How good's that? And just like that, the back of the car is done. Check this out. Swing away. I did put a bigger gas strut on it today as well. Pop this open. Mate, that is unreal. Look how much room we have compared to the last setup. Insert last setup here. We pretty much had like up to here gone. And by the time I put the fridge in, up to here gone with only that as storage. And now we have literally the whole thing. I kind of wish I'd just done it like this from the start, but sometimes you just got to go through the process to figure out exactly what you want. But nonetheless, it's perfect now. So we've got the drawer fridge, iFrost. You'll be amazed what you can fit in these things. Air compressor, it's all working. That shuts off, so pretty happy with that. Interior lights. Oh, our freaking storage drawers. Put an Anderson plug in there for anything that you know you want to plug into some power. We've got the drawer on the other side. Pretty crazy. The batteries are all tucked away, or the battery is tucked away. It looks really good in there. Air compressor, everything just tucked away in the perfect spot. I could not be happier with the layout of this compared to the last one. And just so much simpler. Like even for repairing something, you just got to rip this panel off here. I can wire, you know, anything else in if something goes wrong. It's all under this panel. Now I'm going to move on to our exhaust tip. So this is going to take a little bit of finessing because I've only got a dump pipe to cut bends out of, and a MIG welder. So, you know, going to be a little bit hard to do, but pretty much I want it coming out down the bottom here somewhere. So kind of angled down, aiming out so the soot comes down and not out sideways. It should make it sound a lot better too, just coming out of this like section of the car rather than just under there, which is always good. So I'm going to start measuring some stuff up, and then I've got a hole saw. Pretty much they are very similar. Like, we want to overdo the hole because there'll be movement in the exhaust itself. But yeah, 2 hole saws like that, cut it out, and then just start piecing it together. Oh, I just did something so dumb. I was trying to expand the hole a little bit with the hole saw, and it slipped and it ran right off the car and straight onto my arm. So that sucks. The good news is the deep bit we're covering with a plate, and those can probably be just quickly sanded out and then filled in. But damn, it's always when you're in a rush that you stuff something up. But anyway, I've got the exhaust piece made. It fits in there really nice. I did just extend that hole out a little bit, like I said, just where it ended up. So now I'm going to cut this out, which is pretty much just like that. And then we can start shaping it from there to figure out exactly how we want it to look on the side of the car. I just don't know how it's going to look until I get it on there. So I'll cut this out, I'll hole saw the center bit, probably get this fully welded just in case any of it moves, and then weld that onto the car, and then start to look at bolting that onto the car. Everything was just going a little bit too good. It was starting to actually work out in here for once, and then I went and stuffed it. But I'll get this cut out, it should be fine. Stop worrying about it. Right, I'm going to finish weld the exhaust and get that done and mount it in, and then I can go ahead and mount that base plate. Right, so it sticks out a little bit, but that's actually a really good thing, because once that's on, you want the exhaust to be able to flow past it. God, that looks crazy though. So now I've got to finish the welding. I've only just got it tacked in there, and then I'll start bolting this on. The reason I haven't drilled this already is you've got to make sure you're not bolting through nothing, because that's quite a big hole now. But yeah. Rightio, that is fully welded and painted. You can hardly even tell that it was ever done, apart from the big hole there, the big scratch. So now I've got to extend the front pipe. So this is the section from the very front. I've got to extend that exactly 50 mil because we moved the motor forward 50 mil, so our dump pipe 50 mil short of getting in contact with this. So a little choppy chop of this, blada bling, blada blung, pop that in there. I don't actually have a V-band because I broke it getting it off, so we might just clamp it together so we can at least start it up and hear it in this episode. I put the front piece of the exhaust in. It's just held in with a freaking vice grip at the moment, so not ideal conditions. Hello, diesel. But I did just go and paint this up just for now, a bit of black. So now I'm just going to bolt that in, and it should be looking pretty good, apart from my scratch. Righto, flange is on. I actually reckon that is so sick. There's only one thing left to do though, and that's start it up and see if we've changed the node to this thing at all. I don't know if my vice grips are going to hold, but we'll try anyway. It is Saturday night and it's getting late, so I can't do too much revving. We got low battery. Come on, where's the iTech pack? Right here, mate. Lifesaver, hitechworld.com. Batteries are always dead. Yep. Oh, it's much quieter. Much quieter up here. I mean, there's no exhaust leak now. My pliers just fell off. I don't know if you've heard that. Still bringing a bit through, but I'm gonna have to get a V-band to test it properly. We'll try one more time. Just gonna give it one like quick rev because they're probably gonna fall off again. It's so much quieter. Ooh. What just happened? Man, I'm not having any luck. I don't know what's just happened. I was running it, shut off, and now it won't start. I just tried cranking it over, it will not fire. Now the jump pack's dead because I've tried to crank it over a million times. One of those days, man. There's a throttle position sensor switch A, and that's a red priority 1. Clear trouble codes. This will clear all active. Right, it is the next morning. I was up all last night thinking about what could possibly be wrong. I stayed in here last night till like 8 o'clock and I was thinking, if I stay any longer, I'm going to start ripping this whole car apart. But this morning, come in with a fresh mind, nailed it straight away. So if we go underneath the car, this group of earth wires here is a little bit loose. And that's literally all it took. If I wriggle them, the car starts. So I'm going to back this bolt out and put a much shorter one in because you can see I've got some washer spaces there. I'm pretty sure that's the earth for the ECU, so that's why it was acting like it was acting. But we can get this on and we can bring it out the front and give it a little rev. It is early on a Sunday, so I can't do too much, but yeah, we'll give it a little bit of a revvy. Nice and clean. There you go. Much better. Sounds way better. I mean, it's a common rail. They don't sound great, but that is sick. Sunday. It's so much quieter, man. It's sick. It's the first look at the swing away out in the sunlight. That looks sick, man. I'm so happy with that. It's like perfectly in line with the door too. And then our new exhaust. Looking mint. Hey Diesel, you love it? The rear drawer setup as well. Very, very happy with that. Let me know what you guys think down below. Check out iTech World as well if you want fridge, dual battery, anything like that. They've got heaps of products. That's going to be it for today's episode though. This was a long one. This was actually just about 2 weeks worth of filming because I've done so much boring stuff off camera. So lots of work trying to get this thing dialed. But I just didn't want to film the boring stuff. So thank you all for watching and sticking around. Next week should be a first drive of that thing, which is kind of nerve-wracking, but also very exciting.